On Amazon Web Services and Tamil Nadu's primary startup incubator, iTNT Hub, have joined hands to build an accelerator for the state's AI-first startups. The partnership will see both AWS and iTNT target 100 startups in the first year for the accelerator, with mentorship, funding opportunities, and access to AWS cloud and products on offer. CNBC-TV18's Jude Sanath catches up with AWS and iTNT to find out what kind of startups are on their radar.
What does the partnership entail really for these startups, and how do they hope to leverage from it? If you could just break this down for our viewers.
No, so iTNT has been doing a phenomenal amount of work over the last 1 year to try and build this community. They've done a lot of work with a couple of other companies already. The deep tech technology focus is something that they're looking at driving further. And we were looking at figuring out a partner to try and drive a GenAI focus. That's what the interest really was. And we've come to a joint path here to try and identify startups across at 570 odd Anna University colleges where students can come back with ideas on how to use GenAI to build new solutions. And I think the opportunity for us is tremendous in front of us for India and Tamil Nadu on the whole, because there's a lot of demand in the market for solutions there.
Are there any AWS related services or anything pertaining to AWS that will then be available for these startups to leverage on as they continue their journey? If you could just take me through that part of this accelerator and how it helps.
See, the beauty of Amazon Web Services is the fact that startups can choose any of the services that we have today to build on. Okay, and the fact that cloud provides for them an environment to experiment very quickly. So a startup can quickly create prototypes, test it out, doesn't work, change and move forward with limited cost. That USP is something that we've built on over the last 18 plus years. Okay, so what a startup today gets is the entire gamut of the world's largest set of services that we can actually offer any startup to work with. Whether it's GenAI, Bedrock, whether it's Amazon Q, the entire set is available to work with.
How does that then tie in with your plans? Have you earmarked select startups belonging to certain segments? How does that process then come about?
So as you saw, like iTNT, it's been 1 year since we have started the journey, and today we actually incubated around 23 startups, everything in the deep tech space. 50% of them are in the AI space because their solution in some form, they're sector agnostic. Like we have 2 or 3 medtech startups using AI as one of the technologies. Then we have space tech, which are using again AI technology because it's all about how they're pulling in the data sets and how they can go run all these things. And so we have a target, like the number of deep tech startups in Tamil Nadu is around 600 to 700, out of which 30% is AI-specific startups. So 100 is a number I think we would be easily able to reach, but I didn't want to promise Sunil more than that. If it happens, it happens. But definitely we think it would be 100 plus, where we think the startups would be using their AI technology as well as, building their product on that.
How does the partnership also help them move on in their journey, when it comes to, I know mentorship is part of what is being offered, but, helping when it comes to funding or really taking it up when it comes to capital? Will all of these things also be covered as part of the accelerator?
No, absolutely, it will be covered. The reason being, AWS being a global company, the opportunities for the startups to kind of have this global outlook, because they're bringing in, ideas, they're bringing in, funding partners start looking at, oh, you've been using this technology, you've had this product in this. So the interest automatically grows. We have around 50 plus investors currently in our ecosystem as part of iTNT's support. But I think that will automatically grow when they see the different kind of solutions coming from the startups being part of the AWS ecosystem.
What kind of growth are you expecting in the investor numbers?
I just hope that more deep tech startup investors and VCs start, because right now I'm seeing a lot of HNIs and angel investors in this space, currently in Tamil Nadu at least. But now we just started seeing people from Delhi and Bombay and Bangalore looking at us, like, from Tamil Nadu deep tech startup.
And keeping with startups and, funding itself, AWS recently announced 230 million in terms of a fund for startups globally. If I could just ask you, what kind of an exposure will startups here in India have for it? What's in it really for startups here? And how will AWS leverage on their announcement of 230 million for startups here in India?
So it's a global program, so Activate is a global program, and that primarily is meant to try and accelerate the entire development of the ecosystem. So any startup in India can also apply for that. I think they have a timeline on July 19th is the second cohort that's getting applied for. So that's when you can look at going in. So any startups anywhere in the world can apply towards that fund and get access to that credit fund that they have right now. That's one that is sitting there. You also have another one that we announced last week, which is $50 million towards public sector customers.
Right.
Okay, this again because anything with GenAI is complicated. It's not easy as other services. So there is a need for supporting partners, customers developing this and using it. So there is this availability for customers to dip into to see if they can sustain and build models on that much more easier. So that also is there.
All right.
230 plus 50, both
Yes.
are out.